Okay. Dasa Vrindavanam Bande Krishna Dasa Prabhum Tata Chanavatar Chaitanya Lila Vistar Karino Do Nityananda Parabja Karuna Dena Bushito Vyakta Chano Budachincho Vavande Vyasadupino Shri Guru Gaur Gandharva Govindas Chaganai Saha Jayanti Patakas Ch.Ch Sarvesham Gurunartino. So we are continuing our hearing of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a text which we consider to be the most authoritative pertaining to the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya. So every morning you're hearing from this text. So we just heard a description of Mahaprabhu's bidding farewell to all the Bengali Vaishnavas, and we will continue from there. Jai Shri Gurudev. Himata sab Vaishnav Gode Cholila Vidyanidhi Sevatsa Niladri Rohila. Finally, all the Vaishnavas returned to Bengal, but that year Pundarik Vidyanidhi remained at Jagannath Puri. Sarup Sahita Hoy Sakya Priti Dui Janai Krishna Kata Ekatra Istiti. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Pundarik Vidyanidhi had a friendly, intimate relationship, and as far as discussing topics about Krishna, they were situated on the same platform. Katadar Pandite Teho Punamantra Dilo Odan Shastir Dine Jatchaje Dekilo. Pundarik Vidyanidhi initiated Gadadhar Pandit for the second time, and on the day of Odana Shashti, Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw the festival. Kat, do you remember why Pundarik Vidyanidhi had to initiate Gadadhar a second time? He forgot his mantra. He was in so much ecstasy, he forgot his mantra. Jagannath Podentata Madhuyavasan Dekiya Sagrina Hoilo Vindjani Dirman. When Pundarik Vidyanidhi saw that Lord Jagannath was given a starched garment, he became a little hateful. In this way, his mind was polluted. So normally, you wouldn't, just like you wouldn't wear a starched garment yourself, you wouldn't offer something like that to the deity. You would, wash it first. Because I'm just explaining for Kat, in India, often when, like new cloth, when they're going to sell it, it is starched, completely starched. So like when you buy new saris, then usually they're very starched. Maybe they make it from rice or something like that, from rice. Just so, it looks nicer, I suppose. But normally, if you're going to offer some cloth to the deity, you would wash that out first. Just like with yourself, it's uncomfortable, a little uncomfortable to wear. But in Jagannath Puri, it's mentioned in different places, different examples, that Jagannath, he's running his own independent kingdom there. And they don't follow things, they don't always follow the traditional way of doing things. And there's a few examples. There's this story of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Also, there's the story of Ramanuja Acharya, that he wanted to change the system of worship. And they were about to submit to what he was requesting, and the next morning he woke up a few hundred miles away. Even Lord Jagannath doesn't like people interfering with his style of worship. So similarly, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he's disturbed, seeing, the deities are here, they're being offered this starched cloth, and he felt, some anger about that. So we'll see what happens. So when Punjarik Vijayanidhi saw that Lord Jagannath was given a starched garment, he became a little hateful. In this way, his mind was polluted. Jai Shri Gurudev. Serachriye Jagannath Balaya Siya Duibai Chadana Tade Hasya Hasya. That night, the brothers, Lord Jagannath and Balaram, came to Punjarik Vijayanidhi and smiling began to slap him. Kalo Fulila Charja Antade Ulas Vistadi Varniyachen Vrindavana Das. Although his cheeks were swollen from the slapping, Punjarik Vijayanidhi was very happy with him. This is the ultimate grace, that the Lord himself will slap you. This incident has been elaborately described by Thakur Vrindavan Das. Emata pratyabda isse gore bhaktagan Prabhu sange rohi kore jachadana shan. Every year, the devotees of Bengal would come and stay with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to see the Ratha Yatra festival. Tar madhye je je vaishe achoye vishesh vistadiya agetaha kohibo nishesh. Whatever happens during those years that is worth noting shall be described later. So we see in throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vrindavan Das Thakur, he's not giving a completely linear narrative. He's sometimes jumping around, sometimes jumping ahead, sometimes jumping back. I suppose we could say there's more emphasis on the substance, rather than a historical. What feels more appropriate in terms of the content, the
ontological development of the narrative.
Very nice. Very nice. So yes, it's not always a linear. And then sometimes we'll be like towards the end of the text, and there will be a very token description of something that he describes and elaborately at the beginning of the text. So yeah, there's not. At the same time, it's a very systematic work. It's a very it's done with great attention to like you said very nicely, the ontological substance. Very systematic, very precise. Not that that's the, there's something being built, the beginning, at the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Siddhantic framework and foundation is first established, and then on top of that, the Leela is described. So it is a very, I'm trying to think of the word that Gurudev used. It is let's just say, it is a very systematic, very perfect text. And not that that's the only way of doing it, like by comparison, Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur, it is a much more, like as Gurudev said once, over-flooded with enthusiasm. Like it's more of an ecstatic expression, and there's not so much order there. But so that that it's not that it's the only way to do things, in this type of way. But it has some more kind of clout, we could say, because it has that type of deep substance and ontology behind it.
Is clout an official word? I thought it was just American slang.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it is. But it's useful.
Clout.
Clout means like it has a more standing. has more. Yeah. There's many words, maybe they're not even in the dictionary, but they're very good words. We're not actually about language. We're about trying to convey ideas. So whatever word is useful from whatever language, we'll use that. Srila Saraswati Thakur, he gave a lecture once, and he was sometimes speaking Bengali, sometimes speaking English, sometimes speaking Hindi, quoting Sanskrit verses. And then afterwards, somebody in the audience complained and said, if you could just stick to one language, I would appreciate it. And Saraswati Thakur said, I'm not speaking any language. I'm not speaking English. I'm not speaking Hindi or Bengali. I'm trying to speak Krishna consciousness. And whatever word or language feels appropriate at that moment, then I'm using that. There's many words like that in other languages. We don't have an equivalent for them. So we have some expressions from our gurus in English that you can't really translate into Bengali. You'll see like in talks of Gurudev or Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they may be giving a Bengali talk, and then they'll stop and express something in English because they can't really say it in their language. Like we have subjective evolution of consciousness. Like they would use that title in English. So yes. Also here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami, he at one point he mentioned some people may complain because I use too many Sanskrit verses, and they will complain saying, "Oh, Sanskrit's so difficult. Why is he quoting so many Sanskrit verses?" And then he said, similar to what Saraswati Thakur said, "I'm not speaking Sanskrit or Bengali." And he also.
The verses are all in Sanskrit only.
No, these verses, they're mostly in Bengali.
Okay.
And then there's some original Sanskrit verses and some cited Sanskrit verses. But for the most part, it's in Bengali. But he was expressing, some Bengali persons, some of the audience, they may complain. Say, oh, why he's using so much Sanskrit? Just keep it pure Bengali, like that. And then he also added, in his defense, actually, even if you don't understand this, it's like you were saying last night, just the vibration will purify you. Just go on hearing, whether you understand it or not. Just hear it with faith, with love, and you will be purified. You will be benefited by that. Okay. Himata Mahaprabhu Chadivatsa Gelo Takinjaya Site Dui Vatsa Lagilo. This is not one of the ancient. This was written about 500 years ago, after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. You're familiar with something with okay. So this was written about a generation after Lord Chaitanya. There were a number of biographers of Lord Chaitanya, but this is the most developed, and it is the most developed in terms of philosophy and ontology, like that. So this is because we are worshippers of Krishna, Radha Krishna, but primarily we are worshippers of Lord Chaitanya. And partly because we consider that it is not possible to approach Krishna directly, but rather through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can receive the mercy of Krishna. Because Lord Chaitanya, he is known as the avatar of distribution, we could say. Krishna, he is, as you were saying last night, he's very playful, he's enjoying. Krishna is an enjoyer. He's not in the mood of helping the lost souls of this world. He's having a very nice time in Vrindavan with his friends. But whereas Lord Chaitanya, he is in this mood of canvassing the lost souls of this world and trying to give them Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya is opening the door by which persons can have entrance to Vrindavan and
This is
Krishna
what
Lila.
I told about Madhya, right? So he's also our guru. I don't know if I can talk in the middle.
Sure,
can?
yeah.
Okay. So he is our guru. Like how we call Chaitanya, we call Madhvacharya as our guru, which means we cannot directly approach the Lord. So he is the supreme, and we cannot touch him even through our thoughts like that. So we have to approach the Lord only through a guru. And
Yes.
that's why we have to, as you said, Chaitanya is the Lord, is the guru for you. So that is the way even we also assume Madhvacharya as our guru. So
Right.
normally that is the way everybody approaches the Lord.
Yes. Well, in the case of Lord Chaitanya, it is a somewhat different conception, because we actually consider Lord Chaitanya to be an avatar of Krishna. There are different ideas throughout. I mean, first of all, I think in most of India they haven't heard of Lord Chaitanya. He's not so well known. But let's say within the Bengal region, he's especially well known. But amongst the group of persons who appreciate him or worship him, there are different conceptions. And many persons simply see him as what you're describing as more of a guru figure, like a great saint. But we consider him to be our teachers. They have, according to descriptions of the avatars for each age, they have identified him as being the Kali Yuga avatar. So that is our conception of Lord Chaitanya. And then, of course, in the shelter of the line of Lord Chaitanya, one will also take a guru, like that. Lord Chaitanya, he is like our Gurudev Srila Sridhar Maharaj. He wrote this verse once describing Lord Chaitanya as the Guru Rupa of Hari. When the Lord takes on the mood of Guru, he becomes Chaitanya. And a finer conception underlying that is that that mood comes about because when he's under the influence of Radharani, that it is described that Lord Krishna, he sees that Radharani, she actually gets more pleasure from serving him. He's the recipient of all her dedication, all her offerings, her service. But rather than him being more satisfied, he's seeing that she's more satisfied. She's more fulfilled in the expression of giving. There is more fulfillment than receiving. And so Lord Krishna decides, I want to taste that. And also he considers, I'm apparently such a wonderful person, but I can't experience that for myself. I can't taste my own sweetness or enjoy my own beauty. So he considers, it would be best for me to take the position of Radharani, so I can experience her mood. And so he becomes under the influence of the mood of the heart of Radharani. And under the influence of her mood, her bhav, then he takes the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so it is Radharani who has that mood of assisting persons in their service to Krishna, in connecting persons with the service of Krishna. So it is that mood which is prevalent in Krishna as Lord Chaitanya. It is a somewhat of a complex idea. So yes, in Lord Chaitanya, it is another way our gurus have described it. Krishna has given many instructions, as in Bhagavad Gita, as you mentioned last night. He's given so much instruction there. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, many instructions. But then he's telling, but he's not showing, actually. And so in the form of Lord Chaitanya, Krishna is demonstrating how to actually follow Krishna's instructions, how to become a surrendered devotee of Krishna. He's showing the paramount example of that. So that is, another way that we can see it. Okay, so we'll continue. So thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed 4 years. He spent the first 2 years on his tour in South India. Ado dui vatsar chahe Vrindavana jaite Ramananda hate Prabhu napade cholite. The other 2 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan, but he could not leave Jagannath Puri because of Ramananda Rai's tricks. So Mahaprabhu, he took sannyas, and then he traveled from Navadvip to Puri, and he didn't stay very long in Puri that time. He quite quickly he moved on to South India, and he was traveling in South India for 2 years. Then he came back and spent another 2 years in Puri, and wanted to travel to Vrindavan, but the devotees in Puri, they could not tolerate his separation, so they kept making excuses to stop him from going. Pancham vatsari goder bhakta gana haila rata de kinaro hila godere cholila. During the 5th year, the devotees from Bengal came to see the Ratha Yatra festival. After seeing it, they did not stay, but returned to Bengal. Tobe Prabhu Sarvabhauma Ramananda Stane Alingana Kori Kohe Madhura Vachane. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed a proposal before Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramananda Rai. He embraced them and spoke sweet words. Bahutut kantamor jaite Vrindavan Tomar hate dui vatsa na koilu gaman. Mahaprabhu said, "My desire to go to Vrindavan has very much increased. Because of your tricks, I have not been able to go there for the past 2 years." Avasya chalibo duhe koroho samati tomadu havinamor nahi anyagati. This time I must go. Will you please give me permission? Save for you two, I have no other resort. So, of course, the Lord, he's completely independent. He doesn't need anybody's permission. He can do whatever he likes. But he's so, bound by the love of his devotees. And so, unless they will give their, their wholehearted or half-hearted at least approval of his plans, then he doesn't want to hurt them too much. So it is very, very charming, very, very sweet. He's begging them for permission. Goda deshe hoy mor dui samashroi janani janavi he dui doi amoy. In Bengal, I have 2 shelters, my mother and the river Ganges. Both of them are very merciful. Koradesh diya jabo tasaba dekiya tumidu he agya deho padasana hoya. I shall go to Vrindavan through Bengal and see both my mother and the river Ganges. Now would you two be pleased to give me permission? So Puri is here, or Orissa, where Puri is here. Puri is here. Bengal is above, and then Vrindavan is up here. That's right, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
It's up here. So it's it would be easier for him to go directly to Vrindavan, but he wants to go to Bengal to have darshan of his mother and Ganges. So he's saying, I'm going to take a detour to go to Bengal.
Puri and Bengal are neighboring states.
Yes, very
Puri
close.
It's a place in a state called Orissa.
Yes,
And
that's
Bengal
right.
is a neighboring state.
Right. Yeah, you can take a train, I think, in about 8 hours
I do not know the exact number of hours, but yes, it is a close by state.
Right.
So Vrindavan is far.
Yes.
Vrindavan is closer to Delhi, which is a separate state. It is
Right.
the capital of India.
Right. Shunya Prabhu Vani Mone Vicharai Prabhu Sane Atihata Kabubalonoi. When Sarvabhauma and Ramananda heard these words, they began to consider that it was not at all good that they had played so many tricks on the Lord. Duheko he ebe vaisha Cholite nadiba vijaya dashami aile avasha choliba. They both said, now that the rainy season is here, it will be difficult for you to travel. It is better to wait for Vijaya Dashami before departing for Vrindavan. So this is after Rath Yatra. This must be like beginning of August. And this is in the middle of the rainy season. So they're saying wait till Vijaya Dashami, which is like October. So again, they're postponing. Anande Mahaprabhu Varsha Koilo Samadhan Vijaya Dashami Dine Korilo Payam. Mahaprabhu was very pleased to thus receive their permission. He waited until the rainy season passed, and when the day of Vijaya Dashami arrived, he departed for Vrindavan. Jagannatha Prasad Prabhu Jata Payachilo Kadar Chandana Dor Sab Sange Loilo. The Lord collected whatever remnants of food were left by Lord Jagannath, and he also took remnants of the Lord's Kadar ointment, sandalwood, and ropes with him. Jagannathe Agyamagi Prabhate Cholila Uriya Bhakta Gan Sange Pache Choliaila. After taking Lord Jagannath's permission early in the morning, Mahaprabhu departed, and all the devotees of Orissa began following him. Uriya Bhakta Gane Prabhu Jatne Nivadila Nijagana Sange Prabhu Bhavani Podaila. With great care, Mahaprabhu forbade the Orissan devotees to follow him. Then, accompanied by his personal associates, he first went to Bhavanipur. Ramanamdai Lapache Dolai Chadiya Vaninata Bahu Prasad Dilo Pataya. After Lord Chaitanya reached Bhavanipur, Ramananda Rai arrived on his palanquin, and Vaninath Rai had a large quantity of prasad sent to the Lord. Prasad Bhojan Kodi Tatairo Hila Pratakale Choli Prabhu Bhuvaneshwaila. After taking prasad, Mahaprabhu remains there for the night. Early in the morning he began walking, and finally he reached Bhuvaneshwar. Katake Asiya Koilo Gopal Darashan Swapneshwar Vipra Koilo Prabhani Mantran. After reaching the city of Katak, he saw the temple of Gopal, and a Brahmin there named Swapneshwar invited the Lord to eat. Ramananda Rai Sab Gane Nimantrilo Bahir Udyane Asi Prabhu Vasa Koilo. Ramananda Rai invited all the others for their meals, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his resting place in a garden outside the temple. Bhiksha Kori Baku Tole Korila Vishram Prataparudra Taidai Korilo Payan. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking rest beneath a bakul tree, Ramananda Rai immediately went to Maharaj Prataparudra. So Katak was the king's capital. And so he receives the news that Mahaprabhu Lord Chaitanya has reached there, and so he's very excited. The king was very happy to hear the news, and he hastily went there. Upon seeing the Lord, he fell flat to offer him obeisances. Punaute punapode pranoy vival stuti kode pulakanga pode ashujal. Being overwhelmed with love, the king again and again got up and fell down. When he offered prayers, his whole body shivered and tears fell from his eyes. Tar bhakti deki prabhur tushta hoilo man, uti Mahaprabhu tade koila lingan. Mahaprabhu was very pleased to see the devotion of the king, and he therefore stood up and embraced him. Punastuti kodi raja kodoye pranam prabhu kripa shutteta deho hoilo snan. When the Lord embraced the king again and again offered prayers and obeisances. In this way, the Lord's mercy brought tears from the king, and the Lord's body was bathed with these tears. Shushta kodi Ramananda Rajadevo Saila Kaimano Vakya Prabhu Tade Kripa Koila. Finally, Ramananda Rai pacified the king and made him sit down. The Lord bestowed mercy upon him through his body, mind, and words. Aiche tahade kripa koilo godadai prataparuja santrata nama hoilo jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed such mercy to the king that from that day on, the Lord became known as Prataparudra Santrata, the deliverer of Maharaj Prataparudra. Gajapati Tarana, another name, another way the king is referred to as Gajapati. In one of our Archie songs in the morning, Mahaprabhu is glorified in that way, Gajapati Tarana, the savior of King Prataparudra. Rajapatragan koilo prabhur vandan, Rajadevi dai dila Sachir nandan. All the governmental officers also paid their respects to the Lord. And finally, the king and his men were bade farewell by the son of Mother Ch.Ch. Bahire asira jagya patrale kailo nija rajya jata vishay tahare patailo. The king then went outside and had orders written down and sent to the government servants within his kingdom. Grame grame nutan avaskoriba panchasata navyagrihe samagriye bodiba. His orders read, in every village you should construct new residences, and in 5 or 7 new houses you should store all kinds of food. So he's concerned that, as Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya, is traveling, in every town, every village that he stops, there will be very special arrangement for him. In every village you should construct new residences. And in 5 or 7 new houses you should store food. Such devotion the king has. Apani Prabhu keloya taha uttariba, rachi diba vitrahaste sevai rohiba. You should personally take the Lord to these newly constructed houses. Day and night you should engage in his service with a stick in your hands. I'm not sure what is meant by that. Dui Mahapatra Hari Chandan Vardaraj Tarayagya Dilodaja Koriho Sarvakai. The king ordered 2 respectable officers named Hari Chandan and Mardaraj to do whatever was necessary to carry out these orders. Hekanavyanokani Rakaho Nadi Tire Jahasnan Kori Prabhu Jana Nadi Pade Tahastambarupan Koro Mahatirta Kori Nityasnan Kori Botaha Tahaje Nomadi. The king also ordered them to maintain a new boat on the banks of the river. And wherever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his bath or crossed to the other side of the river, they should establish a memorial column and make that place a great place of pilgrimage. Indeed, said the king, I will take my bath there, and let me also die there. Chaturdvare koroho uttam navyavas Ramananda jahatumi Mahaprabhupash. The king continued at Chaturdvar, please construct new residential quarters. Now, Ramananda, you can return to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sandhyate cholibe Prabhu nirpati shonilo astiyo partambo grihe strigane charailo. When the king heard that the Lord was leaving that evening, he immediately made arrangements for some elephants with small tents on their backs to be brought there. Then all the ladies of the palace got on the elephants. Prabhur choli bar pate rohe sadi hoya, sandhyate cholila Prabhu nijagana loya. All these ladies went to the road the Lord was taking and remained there in a line. That evening, the Lord departed with his devotees. Chitrot palanadiasi gate koilo snan, bahishi sakal deki koroye pranam. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the bank of the river Chitrotpala to take his bath, all the queens and ladies of the palace offered their obeisances to him. Prabhu darashane sobe hoilo prema moe, Krishna Krishna kohe netrashu varishoe. Upon seeing the Lord, they all felt themselves overwhelmed with love of Godhead. And tears pouring from their eyes, they began to chant, Krishna, Krishna. Eman kripalu nahi shuni chibo vane Krishna prema hoye jar dur dadashane. There is no one as merciful as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within all the three worlds. Simply by seeing him from a distance, one is overwhelmed with love of Godhead. Nokate chariya Prabhu hoilo nadi par, Jyotsnavati rachiye choli aila chaturdvar. The Lord then got into a new boat and crossed the river. Walking in the full moonlight, he finally reached the town known as Chaturdvar. Rachiye tatarohi prate snan kritya koilo heno kale jagannate mahaprashadailo. The Lord spent the night there, and in the morning took his bath. At that time, remnants of Lord Jagannath's food arrived. Rajaragya podicha patai dine dine, bahut prasad patai diya bahu jane. Following the king's orders, the superintendent of the temple sent large quantities of prasadam every day, and it was carried by many persons. Sagan sahite Prabhu pasharangi kodi, Uttiya chalila Prabhu bole hari hari. After accepting the prasadam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and started to go, chanting the holy names, Hari, Hari. Ramananda Mardaraj Shri Hari Chandan, Sange Seva Kori Chole 18 Jan. Ramananda Rai, Mardaraj, and Sri Hari Chandam always went with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and rendered various services. Prabhu Sange Puri Gosai Swarup Damodar Jagadananda Mukunda Govinda Kashishwar Haridas Thakurar Pandit Vakreshwar Gopinath Charjar Pandit Damodar Ramai Nandayar Bahu Bhaktagan Pradhan Kohilo Sabar Ke Kore Ganan. So this is mostly a list of all the devotees who accompanied, or some of the devotees who accompanied the Lord. And then he adds, I've mentioned only the chief devotees. No one can describe the total number. I think that might be a good place to stop for today. Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. Okay, stop there. Jai Shri Chaitanya Chaitanya. Ki Jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai. If you go to page 60 in that book, we'll just conclude with one kirtan, a short kirtan. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha. Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra. Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunatha. Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghunatha. Ch.Ch. Gosai Kori Charana Vandana. Jaha hoite Vignana Shabishta Purana. Ch.Ch. Gosai Jar Muita Dasa. Panchabhara Padadeno Moda Panchagrasa. Tajara Charana Sebi Bhakta Sane Bhasa. Janame Janame More Abhilasha. Ch.Ch. Gosai Jabe Braja Koilo Bhasa. Radha Krishna Nitya Leela Kodila Prakasha. Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajahi Amana. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodihasha. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Kodihasha. Harinam Sankirtan Kohe Narottama Dasa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Jai Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivajaka Charya Varya Ashtotar Shatashi Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivajaka Charya Varya Ashtotar Shatashi Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Shri Guru Garanga Radha Girit Hariju Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ganga Jamuna Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Tulasi Devi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Shri Kol Karta Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Vishwavyapi Tadya Shaka Mat Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Nirmala Charja Maharaj Ki Jai. Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Seva Vrinda Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. All the world devotees Ki Jai. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.